All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to decode the language of the financial markets. We're going to look at a tool that can turn those super confusing charts into a clear, visual story, the Japanese candlestick.
You ever stare at one of those stock charts with all the lines and bars and just feel completely lost? Like you're trying to crack some kind of secret code? Well, what if I told you there's a key to unlock it all?
Because there is. It's this amazing technique that for a long time was a closely guarded secret in Japan. It really didn't make its way over to the Western world until the 90s. But now it's one of the most essential tools out there for reading the market.
And to really get a handle on this technique, we first need to meet the man who brought it into the spotlight. So it's time to meet Mr. Candlestick.
So this guy's name is Steve Nissen. And listen, he didn't just stumble upon Japanese candlesticks. No way. This man dedicated his life to them. He researched them, he studied them, he pretty much lived and breathed this charting method to make sure this powerful knowledge didn't stay a secret. In fact, his contribution was so huge that he earned the ultimate title. When people in the industry talk about him, they just say, Steve Nissen is Mr. Candlestick. That right there, that's the kind of authority that tells you this is absolutely worth paying attention to. So, we've met the man, the legend. But what in the world is a candlestick, really? Let's get right into it and break down its anatomy piece by piece. Okay, first thing you'll notice is what's called the real body. It's the thick, rectangular part. Its whole job is to show you the difference between where the price opened and where it closed for a specific period of time. That's it. And sticking out from the top and bottom of that body, you'll see these thin little lines. Those are known as shadows. Sometimes people call them wicks, like on a real candle. They tell the rest of the story, showing you the absolute highest and lowest price points the asset hit during that same period. And that brings us to the high and low. And this is as simple as it sounds. The very tip of that top shadow is the high point, and the very bottom of the lower shadow is the low point. Simple, right? And boom, here it is all put together in one elegant shape. The real body shows the open and close, while the shadows capture the absolute high and low. That's 4 key pieces of data that map out the entire psychological battle for that time period, all in a single glance. Okay, so we know the parts, but how do they tell us what actually happened? This, my friends, is where the magic lies. Let's look at how each and every candle tells a clear story about the price.
Well, a candlestick's color, or whether it's filled in or not, gives you an instant verdict on the market's direction. If it's hollow, that means the price closed higher than it opened. If it's filled, the price closed lower than it opened. It's really that simple.
So, let's just boil it down. A hollow candle means the price went up. That's a win for the bulls, the buyers who are pushing prices up. A filled candle means the price went down, a win for the bears, the sellers pushing prices down. Each candle just visualizes that constant tug of war. All right, there's one last piece to this puzzle, and this is where candlesticks become this incredibly flexible tool that, you can tailor to your own needs. Let's talk about your chart and your time frame. And this is what makes this technique so powerful. Each candle doesn't just represent one thing. It can represent any period you decide. 1 day of trading? You got it. 1 hour? 30 minutes? 5 minutes? Yes! The story adapts to whatever time frame you want to see. So let's wrap this all up. The key thing to take away is this. Every single candlestick is a complete, self-contained story of the market. And it's built from just 4 key data points: the open, the high, the low, and the close, for any given period you choose.
We've just learned how to read a single candle, but on a real chart, there are hundreds, all lined up, creating patterns and telling a much larger narrative. So the real question is, now that you know the language, what stories are you going to find?